and to people that are watching on record, to the Welsh Chess Chat. It's 28th of September. Most chess seasons are probably begun, or league seasons have just begun. A few games in for most people. My league season here actually starts next week. But joining me, my name is File Master Jonathan Blackbird. I've got Johan and Alex. Johan, how are you? How's your week been? Played any chess?
Really good. I actually played some chess this week over the boards.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like you said, the season started and I've got stuck in.
Okay. Well
it's quite nice.
Tell us more about it now, or
actual pieces?
Oh, you've actually touched some pieces today.
Yeah, it was like really good to actually see some physical 3D pieces and move them around. It was like really nice.
Must have felt a bit weird.
And I actually got to use some sort of stuff that I've worked on, which is great as well. It's so I haven't just been wasting my time.
That's good. Well, maybe we can hear a bit more about that if possible. What about yourself, Alex? How's your week been? Played any chess?
It's been just a normal week, sadly. Work, no chess. I actually made the decision not to play any chess this week because I thought it's going to be a long season. I don't want to burn out, so I thought I'll just slow down on this front, have a week off, and then come back next week or something.
Yeah, I mean it is a long season actually, and I mean I feel drained at the moment, and I was potentially going to play in that Blitz qualifier this weekend up in Bolton because it was actually looking pretty weak. Maybe it still is or isn't. I don't know. But I've just decided even if I got through to the final, I'd be like, yeah, I'll get to play some great players, but 2 days of Blitz chess, and I'd love to do it, but just work's just taking over. Just got so much going on. The training weekends, running a tournament. It's just mental.
Quite an intense day, to be honest, as well, isn't it? Like 15 games or something.
Yeah, I played it once before, and it was an intense day, but to then do it, and then even if I got through to the final, I'd be like one of the lowest seeds, and I would give it a go. It'd be a great learning experience, but it's just the wrong time of year. That's the problem. Alex, have you played the qualifiers before? I think.
Yeah, but only once. I think. I don't know how long it's been going now. I played once now. I missed out on the final on tiebreak.
That's gutted. Are you playing this time?
No, not unless I make a very last minute decision. There is a number of little reasons that when I put them together, I'm like, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So yeah, I think not. Especially now, I think some stronger players have entered the Progend one, so it's not like a free ticket to the final anymore.
Free ticket. I mean, in Blitz, you do get some upsets though as well, so it might not even be a free ticket when you might think it is. But okay, well, what's coming up in this week's episode of the Welsh Chess Chat? Apologies, we're a little bit late. I was just trying to plug in my headphones to get them to work. For some reason, they didn't autoplay, and I'm not very good at computers at all, so I had to do a restart. But we're going to discuss, obviously, the calendar and the ratings, if we can load them up. Which is a question that might not work, actually. We've got the Welsh seniors in action, which is Alex, I think you were going to say some things about that. Ethan Rathbone-Jones is playing in the World Youth Championships it's the Under-21 Championship in Mexico, or Mexico, as people like to say it. That is true, isn't it? People just go Mexico, right?
Only the cool kids.
Oh, right, okay. So it's Mexico for me then. Mexico. Title Tuesday, we've got a couple of Titans being downed, but a new player as well, which we might have a look at one of his games. Chess Drama, that could be a huge section, guys. Huge section. We've got Hans Niemann doing an actual interview with Piers Morgan. I mean, that's just the start of it, and there's a lot of more other things coming up there. And then we've also got some future events to look forward to. That's why, I just keep it there. It's.
I think it's a strategy, right? He's just keeping himself in the news, and it's like money-wise, it's a good strategy. I bet he's making tons out of it.
Well, maybe. I mean, it's he can definitely play up to it now for the next 10 years, can't he? Really, and in a way, he's become. The thing is, I don't even think he is that much of a bad boy. That's the thing, that kind of villain. Though. Yeah, well, I mean, of chess maybe, but I don't know. Okay, well, I tell you what, let's go into the Welsh Chess Union calendar and see what we think. What do we think, guys?
Yeah, it looks a bit sparse.
Well, I don't think I've updated it though. It's changed a lot since we last looked.
All chess cancelled.
All chess is cancelled at the moment in Wales. So I am on the right website, welshchessunion.uk. I
There's
guess
quite
if
a few of them, though, isn't there? I always get confused.
Oh, we're back. We're back.
They've launched it.
They must have just seen that we were loading it up for the Welsh Chess Chat and thought we need to just not let them look at it before they go live and just tease them a little bit.
I mean,
okay, well,
loads of new stuff if they've done that.
I don't think there's anything new come up, is there? Or has anybody seen anything new?
Well, we're going to find out together.
Okay,
It's full now that you wouldn't find something new unless you really looked, would you?
Well,
before it was so empty that everything was obvious.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still looking forward to this tandem event at the tandem tournament at the bottom after the Welsh Championships. That's the big one. I think everybody's going to aim for. Good, they've got the South Wales international dates for next year.
That wasn't there before, I think. So I can start. Oh, that's perfect for me. I'm free from like the 4th, so.
Oh, right, there we go then. Do you want me to pick you up on the way down?
I think I'm going to try and play in that for sure.
Yeah. I think the other thing that maybe be updated here is possibly the entrance. We'll have a look at the Blitz in a second. But for the South Wales Autumn Congress, I think this was looking pretty sparse before, wasn't it?
It looks
it's still looking pretty. It's still looking sparse. But actually, I think from what I've seen on some WhatsApp groups, I think a lot of people have entered, and the names just aren't showing at the moment.
Okay. That
So
would make
I
sense.
don't.
Far away, right? It's like less than 2 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah. Like literally, you got this weekend, and then it's the weekend
Isn't that
after.
amazing? Contrast that to Newport, and it wasn't that long ago. Where's the venue of this one?
It's Cardiff, I think. Like the
okay.
I think they do have a lot more entries. They're just not live.
Yeah, but it's not going to be like 200 or whatever, is it?
No. I mean, the thing is, I think when you see more people have entered, it might encourage more people to enter. So, I mean, that's what I feel anyway. If you look at that and you think there's only 7 entrants, then it might put you off from entering. I think there are significantly more entrants than that. First prize £200. Alex, you're not playing it. You're in Magaluf, aren't you?
I am in Magaluf, yes.
Okay, right. When do you want to tell us about that? When you fly out, or?
I fly out on very early on the 7th of October.
Okay, and is it a weekend? Is it a whole week?
It's over 9 days. So I've played the day I fly out, which is going to be. It gets more testing each time I go because I'm always 2 years older than last time I did it.
Is it every 2 years? Is it?
No, it's every year, but I just play it every 2 years. Like I don't choose to do it, but it's just like how it's worked out. I played in 17, 19, and 21. So I always fly out like early on the morning, and the game's 8 p.m. that day. So it's just like drink a load of coffee, and each time I play worse in that first round. And there's a photo of me last year. It looks like I'm sleeping at the board.
We need to get that photo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not a great look.
So is this another one that you're going to jet out, smash everyone up, win, come back?
Be higher rated than John.
Welsh hero.
Oh, I've got to being higher rated than John. There's actually some serious prize money in this one as well. So if I did, I'd be pretty happy. I think it's like €1,300 first prize.
Wow, okay.
Under 2,300.
And the bigger prize, how many points until you catch up with John?
I'm not tracking it point by point, but it can't be that.
I'm sure John is. He's like looking over his shoulder, like.
I can't believe it.
Can't believe it. Self-destruct button, didn't he? In
the Grim Reaper's coming.
Well, okay. Well, let's get back to some Welsh chess. So this tournament in a week and a few days' time, it's got the under 8 and under 9 championships. I'm guessing is being held at the same time. That is the championships, I believe. That's a rapid play, but the Open is open to anybody. So it looks like it's just one big section where you can have completely new players all the way up to grandmasters technically playing in it. I don't think we will have any grandmasters playing in it unless Keith decides to come and raid us again. But yeah, £200 first prize, 120 for second, 60 for third. Entry fee looks like you've got to get your entry fee in now, actually. So 1st of October, it goes up in a few days' time. So it's £30 now, £40 after the 1st of October. So get your entry in now for that tournament. And I guess we should have a look at the Blitz Championship qualifiers. Who's entered into this now? Because this is potentially why you're not entering, Alex. Is this or?
Well, I mean, I probably wasn't going to anyway, but it's
Okay.
nice, you know. And I don't want to go and ruin the other Welsh players' chances of qualifying.
Wait a minute, is this the list for the Welsh Blitz thing?
No, that's the list for the Southern one.
I was thinking, like, what Spielman
I've got to get past
to pretend.
I've got to get past the South and the Midlands before we can get to Wales. Okay. Don't worry, it won't look as good. This is my one, by the way, that I could go to. The Northwest in Bolton. So I'd actually be the highest rated player. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot more dangerous than you think. I mean, Jacob's obviously higher rated than me in Classical. He just hasn't played any Blitz. Yeah. And there's a few other people here as well that are.
I bet Jude Shearsby would be quite good because he's a junior, isn't he? Like,
yeah, there's quite a few juniors there.
Quite good.
Alan Beardsworth is worth a bit more than that, perhaps. I don't know Ethan Norris at all. But, you know, Peter Malidia took me a lot to beat, but probably better than. I don't know who this Maxim Larchikov is. I don't know if that's the Ukrainian junior or not. I can't remember. So there are a few dark horses, but I would be technically the highest rated player. And yeah, I could technically go there with the idea of qualifying for the final. But yeah, it's just the wrong time of the year to put the effort in for it. And then even if I get through to the final in December, as much as I'll be, yeah, come on, Wales, and let's go get them. It's, again, the wrong time of year to go and do that stuff. Right, where is Wales? Are we like so far down? This is the southwest, northeast, Scotland. Wow. All right, we get to Wales. Okay, well, that's a bit of a change from last time.
Yeah, we've got a couple of Welsh legends in there now, haven't we?
Yeah.
Got number 2, Daniel Kojuszek, down as West is best. The team doesn't even exist anymore. Need to
doesn't even exist.
But then I think we need to look down at seed number 9. That's where we're really talking for Blitz.
Oh yeah,
this is that's the one.
You know, I'll be like when I played him in the Welsh Blitz Championships. It wasn't even a game. You know, I gave Daniel a better game than the game I gave Rudy. It's just like just a free win for him. I think these people, if they don't know who he is, they're in for a whopping. Like
they don't know.
Turns out thinking, I'm just playing this guy called Rudy.
They'll know who he is after the tournament, won't
they?
Right. Yeah, I mean, to be honest though, you know, it's evening, Greg. It's great to see Rudy get up there, and actually in this kind of field, he can cause a lot of damage because, you know, he's actually not that lower rated compared to most people. So you'd expect him to beat the majority, and he's going to cause some upsets. I reckon he beats one of those top 3 or top 4 even. And we look forward to the time when it happens, don't we? As well. Yeah, good luck.
But I think what will be interesting as well, actually, because that Bodana, the 8th seed as well, she's 9 years old, isn't she? Or is she even younger? She's like,
is she the one? Is she the one that's like just amazing?
Yeah, she's apparently some super talent. I think she's supposed to be really good at Blitz as well.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because she made it to the finals last year. Because I think I was either watching or I was doing part of the commentary. I must have been watching it, I think. I don't think I commented on the Blitz. Can't remember. So yeah, she was winning it last time. Winning the finals for the women's section last time ahead of a GM until the last 1 or 2 rounds.
Oh wow.
That's what happened. I think maybe I was doing the commentary. I can't even remember now.
Is that why you're not playing, Alex? You don't want to lose to an 8-year-old girl.
Well, I don't think it matters that they're a girl or a boy or whatever, does it? She loses to an 8-year-old is never good. But it was good to see a lot of youngsters enter into this, though, as well. A lot of young players seem to have entered.
Yeah, it's looking a lot healthier now. I think it's
it's going to be a good tournament. Good luck to all the Welsh prospects that go into that. And that looks like a good tournament. Obviously, still time to enter. I think it's around £25 or something like that. Greg, you should be in this. This is your field, Blitz Chess. So if you're watching, then get yourselves entered into that. Or maybe he's doing a late entrance or something. I don't know.
He'll still be in Poland, won't he, Greg?
Maybe Greg can tell us in chat because he's in chat. Are you still in Poland, Greg? Don't know. Okay, well, that's the calendar. Obviously, the tournament's coming up. Make sure you keep up to date with it. And obviously, we've got the training weekend coming up. Myself and Johan are going to. I'll have to arrange to pick you up on Saturday morning, Johan, I think. So you're going to have to give me your address as we drive down. The ratings, though. Oh, that was calendar that I clicked on. Let's have a look. Is there any changes here? Any big changes to the ratings? So we'll click on new because Alex likes me to do that at the moment.
I need to send in my results so I go up for next week, isn't it?
Ah.
My league result.
You've got nowhere to climb now. You're not catching Dan, are you?
Well, I just want to be a bit further away from you, John. So.
Well, it'll be Alex soon.
You don't need to worry about him.
I was just joking.
The thing is, though, if I'd have just not lost any rating, he would actually be really scared right now. I'd only be 11 points behind him. So we were closing in, Johan. So you were under threat at some point. Every time I lost rating, you're just rubbing your hands together, going, "Yes, he's got nothing to hold over me now." And Alex is there going, "Yes, come closer to me." But yeah, I mean, Alex, if you gain any more rating, you'll be what? You're in touching distance, aren't you? 40 points.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably catch you on FIDE first, and then the Welsh will be a little project after that, just to keep me, entertained.
Yeah, and then you can overtake me.
2300 though has got to be the goal, Alex. Like the big 23 is like quite an exclusive club, really, isn't it? Not that many people get to 2300 in Wales.
I mean, it is, but it doesn't really count for anything, right?
I know it doesn't, but I really I haven't cared about Welsh rating since I was about 14 or something. So, but still, it's nice, isn't it?
I guess it means your rating can't go down once you get to 2300 as well, right? Because your K factor changes to 10, so you have to play like John to lose rating then.
What?
Like if John was rated under 2300, he'd now be like minus 40 or something.
Would I?
Yeah, because your K factor's like 10 or something.
Is it?
So even if you lose to the worst player, you lose like 9.
I didn't realize that Welsh Chess Union ratings had a different K factor built into them.
Dude, click your name.
I mean, I trust you, but this is complete news to me. I didn't know that this existed.
So
my K's 10.
Yeah.
So that's the maximum you can gain or lose. So it's very hard to get it up, but also it means
your K's 16.
Yeah, and then if you go to the very bottom, I think it goes up to 32 or 48. I'm not sure.
What?
Oh, so that is true. So Alex might have caught you already if you hadn't been over 2300.
Yeah, but hang on a minute though. I was already in the previous month when I gained loads. I was K factor 10 still then because I was higher than 2300 before that.
Okay.
So I would have gained loads. I would have gone off the charts.
Off the charts.
Off the charts.
You'd
When
be
did
number
this
one.
happen?
Jose and Daniel will be numbers 2 and 3.
Yeah, they would be. With the amount that I gained. So I didn't realize my K factor was 10 and you had a higher K factor than me. Well, this is sneaky, this is. So Tim's been over 2300, I assume. Oh, it's K16.
It's not like FIDE. It's just on your rating. Like you don't
Hang on.
factor for life.
Tim surely would have been higher than 2300
Yeah,
at
he's
some point.
definitely been.
Yeah, but he's not. But he's not anymore. So he's now back to K16.
So my K would have been 16 when I was lower than 2300.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, that changes things then. Okay.
So you wouldn't have gone off the charts. So.
No, I wouldn't have gone off the charts. No, you've just really dented everything that I was hoping for there. Thanks, guys. But one thing that you did mention there that I thought was a bit of a surprise to me is that you mentioned that Welsh Chess Union rating doesn't matter. And obviously to us, FIDE rating is the main thing that we look at and the main rating that we want to improve. But I'm just wondering about for selection purposes for the Welsh Chess Union. They do use a combination of ratings, don't they, to look at?
I'm not sure what they use, to be honest. Yeah.
Or do they use ratings at all? Or?
I mean, essentially, like my targets have always been like, FIDE titles, etc. So you don't get that from anything to do with Welsh rating. So yeah, it's just to do with what you want to achieve, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. And it's like blitz chess and rapid play chess. It doesn't really matter where you get because you can't gain a title from playing those forms of the game. You can only do it in classical chess, which I'm assuming they might even be looking at changing at some point because that might be an option for them to do if people just play blitz and rapid rather than playing classical all the time. That might be something good for FIDE to do. But yeah, I honestly thought that, Welsh Chess Union ratings kind of matter maybe for selection. And maybe they even look at English Chess Federation ratings as well, perhaps, just to include them. But, because sometimes your Welsh rating actually includes all of the games that you play, whereas FIDE rating doesn't, does it?
Yeah. But they should probably publish some kind of guidance, right? Because if, for example, a Welsh Chess Union rating counts for selection, then I would immediately stop playing league chess. Right?
Oh, really? You'd stop playing just because...
Yeah, when I'm fried in the evening from working all day, like you stare at a screen for like 9 hours and you go and play a league match. Like the quality's horrendous in the league. So
I've seen some of your games, Alex, in the league, and they are horrendous.
Yeah, no, truly horrendous. So if someone said this rating counts for something, I'd go, okay, like there's no.
That's a really good point, though. Actually, Alex, like I hadn't really thought about that, but that is true. If you really want to get selected, then you're going to try and protect your rating, aren't you?
Yeah, and then
as you said, if you're knackered after work, and you're not going to play your best. So
yeah, exactly. And then you say, well, so I wouldn't play, but then I would probably maybe not learn stuff, not get the chance to try new openings, so I'd only be harming myself. Yeah. So it would probably be counterproductive all around. But yeah, I guess some guidance would be good, so I can make a decision.
Well, I mean, for me, it's like, I don't know, league chess is... But you've also got weekenders as well, which some of them are FIDE rated, some of them aren't FIDE rated. So I don't know, yeah, maybe what's more important? I guess it's a combination of the two, to be honest. For example, I mean, like mine and Greg's ratings are actually really close. In fact, I've just overtaken him that term, but our FIDE ratings were still 70, 80 points, 90 points difference between the two. So there's sometimes quite big gaps, I guess, between FIDE ratings not catching up or somebody just being lucky in their Welsh Chess Union rating, which obviously was me last time. Let's have a look at who's gained the most so far, though. I guess some league matches have gone on, and Arush Murthy still at the top, same as last time. And we've got these names, I think, were already here, weren't they? Doesn't look like there's much change there from last time either. So well played there. Who's played the most games? Josh McKenna. Wow. We should have an award for who plays the most games. What do you think? Do you think that's a good idea? A good incentive?
Award.
Oh, I mean, if there's going to be an award for it, I'm going to have to keep playing league matches, aren't I?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
I'm just going to play all the time to get the
we'll give you. I'll tell you what we'll do, Alex. We'll give you an extra half point for the Welsh Championships. He would win that then.
That's a good incentive.
So Josh McKenna 1 game ahead of Tim Kett at the moment, and then 3 games ahead of Andrew.
To stay ahead of Tim is like a fair effort, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, he suffered, Josh has, but playing league matches kind of because he's only come into it recently. But I say recently, like what, a year, 2 years, something like that. Because he played the South Wales International when we were there, Alex, and I think it was his first tournament back. And then he's been addicted ever since. The poor guy. And then as does happen when you've come back into it, your first few games seem to go okay. You get excited, and then you start to really get into the trenches, and that's when it starts to become difficult. So yeah, understand where you're at the moment, but keep playing. You play your way through it.
I should give a shout out actually, because Josh is doing the unthinkable. He's a member of both Cardiff and North Cardiff chess clubs, so he's basically like the biggest traitor in Welsh chess, I think, at the moment. But
it's like
at the
playing
same time,
for like Barcelona and Real Madrid at the same time.
Pretty much.
No, I think that's even worse. It's kind of like bigger than Galatasaray and Fenerbahce, isn't it? There's probably going to be people turning up with like knuckle dusters and stuff going on.
Celtic and Rangers.
So hang on, how's he play? How's he a member of both clubs? Does he just turn up on the club night, or?
Yeah, so he plays for North Cardiff in the league, but he comes on a Wednesday to Cardiff Chess Club, and I think he's in our club championship, and yeah, he plays friendlies and stuff. So I mean, it's all gonna do him some good. But yeah, I think it's actually quite funny that he came down the club the other week, and one of the team captains sort of like leaked information about their team to him, not realizing he was a North Cardiff player. It was their plan on basically how they were going to approach the match against Tim and like how they were going to shuffle their board order, and he just like told Josh McKenna about it.
I mean, all this talk about shuffling board order, nobody really cares in the end, I don't think. But it's nice to have that kind of feeling and talk and everything else. Yeah, I'm not going to be playing much league chess anyway, not because I don't technically want to, but it would be against 1900, so maybe not worthwhile. You saw me gaining a lot of points last time because it was against a lot of wins against low-rated players. So I'm going to be stepping away because we've actually brought two players in, kind of like that are pretty good, like 2000 something like that, so they can play boards 1 and 2. So I'm not needed anymore. So yes, I'll play the cup matches or against the strong teams, but that's it. Okay, Alex. Well, seniors in action. Right. Do you want to talk us through what's going on, Alex? Do you need me to load anything up or?
Oh, I'll share my screen, mate.
Yeah, you should share your screen, yeah. Here he is. So it's I actually mistakenly put on the Facebook post originally it was European seniors, but I think we now know that that's not the case. It's world seniors.
Correct. Is my screen on?
Yep.
You can see the right. Okay, cool. So yeah, World Senior Team Championships was in Struga, North Macedonia.
Oh, is it finished?
Yeah, it finished today, actually. So perfect timing. They put it on a Thursday finish just in time for Welsh Chess Chat. So we had 2 teams. The under 50 team, they were seeded 17th, and they finished 12th. So that's pretty good going to finish 5.
Finished 12th. That's really good.
Pretty much 50%. Won 4 matches, drew 1, lost 4. And then we can see within the team as well, pretty good across the board.
Oh, look at those gains.
Yeah, so Sven nearly plus 40, good gains for Mark and Gary as well. Small gains for Dave and Lee, the only player to lose, but it's just a rating point when it gets rounded. And before I forget, I should say that actually all the Welsh players who went to this tournament between them gained 111 rating points.
Wow.
So they're bringing those back to Wales, which is...
so smiles all around.
Well, yeah, it's good news. It's better than them losing 111 points and then regaining them off the rest of us. So it's the other way around of having it.
I can't wait for you to go to Magaluf to get some rating points and bring them back as well.
Yeah, but then I'm not going to play when I get back, so you're not having...
You're going to sit on your rating, right?
Correct. Well, I'll be higher than you by then, so I'll just... And you'll be self-destructing or whatever, so I'll just play the weighted game, my friend.
So you're just going to sit on it until the Olympiad?
I'm going to sit on it till I'm 50 and I can play the seniors.
No, he's going to sit. He's going to sit on it until selection for the Olympiad. Yeah, and he's just going to go down.
That's a good point.
I don't need to sit on my rating, mate. I've won everything. Anyway, to the under 65s, over 65 team. Wales seeded 19th, finished 21st. Just a couple of places below. 3 match wins, 1 draw, 5 losses.
That's not that bad, though, is it? Really?
It's not. And I think when you look again at their sort of rating performances, they did overall pretty well. Yeah, I mean, Peter early on he finished with 2 losses and a draw. But I know he was gaining a lot of rating early on, had some great results. John Fletcher, who I don't know where he's based. I don't see him play that much, but plus 44 is a big gain. And Tony Hughes, sadly, he lost his last round game today because he was unbeaten.
Oh, he did well unbeaten, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, which would be a hell of a showing. So, yeah, solid 37 gain as well. And, I see, for example, Peter, there you went there and you think World Seniors finishing 17th, but you got to play, 3 GMs, an IM, 2 FMs. So, playing some pretty serious opposition. And I think, Peter, he did beat a GM, didn't he? Yeah, he beat Heike Westerman, which is, never a bad thing to beat a GM, even when they're, I don't know how old he is now, but yeah.
I mean, I played through that game. It was actually really interesting. I haven't analysed it properly, but really interesting King's Indian game. And I think it would need quite a lot of analysis, to be honest. It seemed quite crazy at some point. Like his opponent was pushing, then he was pushing back, and quite a fun game to play. Who won these sections? Who was the? I saw before that England won in the 50s, but who won the 65s?
The 65s, some German team. They were the top seeds. I know that won it. From England, won Slovakia.
Hang on, so England didn't win it?
Over 65s, no.
Shall we celebrate?
Did they have a strong team?
Yeah, I mean, pretty sure. They had John Nunn. That's the top board. Nunn, Coston, Chapman, Baker, Pova.
Wow.
I mean, obviously, they only lost one individual match between them. And it was just in the crucial match in round 4 when they lost to the eventual winners.
Right, okay.
And then the 50s, I think, also came second, the English team, because USA won it.
Yeah. So who was in England's team for that?
Yeah, Adams, M.
Wow, Adams was playing.
And everyone's favourite GM.
John Ems.
That's a strong team.
That's a really strong team, yeah.
It is a strong. But, I mean, they came second. When you look at the US team, it's, also pretty strong. I mean, they've just got the strength. They haven't got Adams.
They've got the strength all the way down is the difference, isn't it?
Yeah. They just stay over 2,500 on the top 4. It's pretty good.
Just flip back to the England team again. I was just quite interested to see that some of who's gained, who's lost, and stuff as well. And actually, to be fair, looking at that, what they need some government funding, right, to really help them push on from this. Because without that funding, right, I don't think they'd be challenging. But they need some funding to get up there again.
Get some like over 60 Russian 2600 in there.
It's only over 50. How old's Vitigov?
I was over 50, is it? Okay.
I think he's younger than me, so he's got a while to go.
Oh, he looks older.
Does he?
Well, maybe I'm just saying you look young, John. Who knows?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe. Okay, well, I guess we do kind of like to see other UK nations win and do well, but I guess it's always a bit of banter to see them not win, but as well. But well done to the Welsh teams. Fantastic performance in the seniors, and I hope they've had a good time over there. Have you seen any pictures posted anywhere about it? I haven't seen any pictures on Facebook yet. I've just seen the pictures of the chess results kind of games coming through. But
where was it hosted, by the way? I missed that.
It was in Struga in North Macedonia.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I think Struga's on the coast. From the only photo I saw was of someone's balcony. It was either on a lake or coast.
I think it's not. I think that Macedonia doesn't have a coast.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking the same thing.
I'm fairly sure it's got. I've been to Macedonia and to Lake Ohrid, and it's like a giant lake, so it could be somewhere near that, maybe.
Yeah, possibly. But yeah, from the one picture I saw, it looked a fairly nice place for it. So.
Very good. Well,
nice.
Well done, guys. And okay, well, we've got some. I don't know. Did you have one of Ethan's games to show, Johan? Or
yeah, I got one. I got one up. The
draw.
Good result he had. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to share your screen?
Share that?
Yeah. Let's have a look. So, those that don't know, Ethan Rathbone-Jones has travelled all the way to Mexico.
So, can you see that? That's the results page. Yeah. Can you see that?
Yep. You can see that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess he's basically kind of performing to rating at the moment, but he did have a draw against 23-56 from Cuba. And if I
you just deleted it, but
share that. Can you see that now?
Hang on a minute. Let me show that. Now we can.
So, just flick through the game if you want, because it was quite interesting. Especially for Alex, probably, because it's a London system.
I've got a Caro for him in a second.
Got a London maestro on stream, so yeah, you can tell him where he went wrong or where.
Actually, wasn't the opening to this quite interesting? Actually, from a London perspective, because so maybe Alex can help out here.
Yeah, so I mean, this all looks quite normal. Is it quite normal, Alex?
Yeah, I mean, I don't play the London this exact way,
Right.
because instead of 9h5, for example, like Queen B6 stuff very early. Well, before E6, Queen B6 is, I think, just super good for black.
Is it? Okay.
So I don't allow it this way, but I know in this position, like 9h5 is supposed to be, I think it's an engine move. I don't think it's played that much, but I think you're supposed to go Bishop E5 as white.
Okay.
And it's similar to the ideas in the sort of anti-Slav or anti-Moran, where you
this sort of thing where you're gonna kind of
and
play
black
G4 and
black has to go G6, which is pretty bad. So I think the idea is you wait for them to go F6 and then you play Bishop G3, and it's supposed to be nice.
But he kind of played Bishop G3 straight away, and Queen B6, Queen C2, and then the guy took here. And I actually really like Evan's next move. I like it a lot. A4, and I think it just like it's quite easy to just play kind of passively, just kind of develop normally, and then you just got left your opponent with a bishop pair. But I think that doing this kind of, even if it's not the absolute best way of playing, it sort of can force a mistake. Because you can't take this back because of b4, I think, basically, isn't it? So the queen goes back.
It's kind of playing quite critically there, isn't it? That's something that weaker players don't do. Weaker players tend to just play automatic moves, the moves that they should be told to play if somebody was watching them. Whereas he's really engaging in the position, wasn't he, there?
Yeah, you just drift into a slightly worse position then. But A4 was like really doing something and making his opponent sort of find the best moves, which he didn't. So, yeah, he just starts outplaying the guy now. And he's, well, it's kind of about equal now.
Bishop on D7, though.
That bishop on D7 is terrible, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, he's got to be a little bit careful that bishop on G7 doesn't become a monster, but he just sort of like quite simply just doubles on. It's just very simple chess, just getting the pieces onto better squares and then just being like, okay, I'm just going to win your A pawn.
It's quite a simple plan, but it's effective.
It's really simple, but just very effective. I guess this is like the problem in games of chess is like you can play really well, but there is a point where it all kicks off, and you've just got to handle that really well, isn't it? And that was about here now for him, I think. So essentially, like his opponent's gone, I'm not doing very well. I need to sort of mix things up a bit. It's not the best move, but it's still maintaining an advantage. And then it just gets a bit messy now, doesn't it?
I was going to say this. I played through this game as well. It does feel very loose around this point, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. But look at that king. There's nothing defending it, So I think you can just kind of switch now, can't you? And then, yeah, I don't know. Okay, so
it's like Black solved one problem, didn't it? He made sure his bishop was no longer bad, but at the expense of his king safety. So it kind of like trades weaknesses.
Yeah. So I guess, you've got to calculate this, I suppose. And then it does look quite good, doesn't it? It really does. Even if you don't get anything immediate, that looks really, really bad for black.
Is there not going to be something immediate? I mean, it looks like this might almost just be winning, right? Like, where's the king even going?
Yeah, I guess, H6.
I don't even believe in H6. I mean, something like G4 and Knight F5 and then Rook H3 check is going to be.
I think the point is you don't really even have to win immediately. Like it's just so good that you can sort of take this and, well, I think the computer even likes this, right? And just you could sit your pawn on A6. It's so close to queening that you have to keep an eye on it while you go over and make the king. So I think there's probably lots of ways of winning this anyway, but he eventually took on there, and it's even better now. So it's +4 the engine gives you.
Oh wow!
+4, but I mean, he didn't quite see. He saw this idea a bit later in the game, where he actually just has to be very, very cool and calm and go Queen A1 here. With the idea of Rook D6 probably next, yeah. But it also pins that A pawn. So, like, yeah, you just have to realize that Black can't actually do anything. You just have to be super calm and just. So you played Knight G4, which sort of gives away a lot of advantage, or nearly all of it, basically, because you can sort of chop that off now. But he sort of saw Queen A1 later, which is a shame, right? Like, because it's still strong here, but it's the same idea, but it's just not as good.
Feels like it's more of a defensive move now rather than a playing for the win move at this point.
Well, you know, he's still +1.3 after it. So,
okay.
Yeah, but it's just that if you think about it, right? If we just go back a couple of moves, really, what's the difference? The difference is this bishop on C8, which is terrible, has been swapped for this knight, which is pretty good. That's the only difference, isn't it? Yeah. So, like, you'd rather keep those two pieces on and have the same thing. So he obviously saw the idea just a little bit too late. Because I think after Queen A1 previously, he just would have collapsed.
You see his time start to drip down here, though, as well. So he was on 20 minutes when he made that decision, and now down to 10.
I think the problem is as well. There's no, like I said, there's even less control now, and you feel like he could very easily lose this as well. Like all three results are possible, which isn't what you want when you probably know you've had a winning position earlier in the game.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, it's quite easy to lose this, I think, and he didn't. So, especially at this point, right? So, like, I don't know if he spotted Rook takes G2 and that he was going to respond with King H1, then that's super calm. Like, because I would be absolutely bricking it if allowing Rook takes G2.
Sango, what's the line here? Queen F2 check and then what? Queen takes Rook E1? Is that what?
Yeah. I mean, if he spotted it, then that is. But really
that doesn't
calm.
the Queen F2, Queen takes Rook E1 doesn't win, does it? Because it's not check when you take E1 if the king goes to H2.
Oh, I was thinking it wins a rook, but obviously you've already just sacked a rook, haven't you?
Yeah, so maybe the queen can give perpetual on the black king. I don't know.
Let's switch the engine on. I want to look. Can't be bothered to work it out. Yeah, it is still a draw. Okay. Yeah, it's still a draw.
Oh, so he's played King H1 because he's trying to play for a win, right?
Well, yeah, that's a good point. Either that, or sometimes you're not like totally convinced you've got perpetual.
So what is he playing for a win here still? I mean,
I suppose you can still play for a win, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Yeah, so like, because I suppose. I mean, it's scary though, isn't it? I mean, it's brave. But yeah, I mean, basically, he has to sack this to get the draw.
Hang on a minute. Just go back. When he played C6, did he have perpetual then? His opponent. He plays C6 here.
Yes, yeah.
Black's got perpetual.
Yeah, that's really odd that he didn't take it, actually, isn't it?
So Black's playing for a win now then?
Yeah, you'd think so, but
if you're playing for a win, would you not try like King D8 or something? I mean, swapping the rooks off's just obviously not really great.
No, check. It loses, yeah? King D8 loses to check.
Okay, that's even weirder, not taking a perpetual, I guess.
I think the point is, like, it makes him see B5 and B6. Because if you don't see that, then it's going to be a win for Black.
Okay, fair.
So at least it's making him see these two moves. And then what I thought was weird is that they agreed to draw like, they agreed to draw like here.
Right.
And I don't know. It is a draw, I think, but still, like you'd play the moves out or something, wouldn't you?
I mean, does black have any risk here to play on? White feels like they've got a little bit of risk, maybe.
Well, I feel like black has the risk, right? I mean, white's king's just going to go and take those pawns, surely.
No,
because you can play H5 and H4, can't you?
Oh, okay.
So there's no risk for black because you have to take that. If you push on, then the king can't ever come around.
Oh yeah, but king f3, king e4. It's just.
Oh yeah, it should be. It should be fine. Fine for white, but
it's annoying actually. Before I actually just wanted to check it was a draw and played some moves, so I don't actually know what the last move was. But I just thought this is a really weird place to end because, like, I was thinking online blitz. There's no way I'd be finishing either color. I would have carried on playing because it's possible for both sides to mess up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I just thought it was a really weird place to draw.
It's quite interesting, actually, what black did in playing rook c2 to swap the rooks off, because I think what his opponent's basically done there is basically said, you can't beat me. Actually, hang on a minute. Did he have to play b6? Is the idea there that he has to play b6?
He has to play b6 before the king stops it or the rook stops it from happening.
Okay.
Because otherwise, I think you're going to lose that b pawn, and then if you lose that b pawn, it's a lost.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually, he only draws by one move. Really, you have to get to b6 at that particular point.
Wow. Well, good result for Ethan, 23-58. And we got to remember as well, he might have been performing to rating, but like he's playing in the World Youth Championship, so all of these other players are all youths, so to speak. So what do we know about youths, about their ratings? They're pretty much all underrated, aren't they? At some point, or so it's really hard to gain rating at these tournaments.
I think he's still overrated, isn't he? He's still dropping.
Maybe. Well, we'll come on to Hans in a bit, shall we? Because he's had a lot to say this week. A lot to say. But yeah, well done to Ethan. How many rounds has he got left? Do we know? What's the situation for him? When does he travel?
So it's 11 rounds, and it's round 8 was today, I think.
Okay, so we've still got a good few more days of a holiday over there while playing chess.
Not a holiday, John. Serious.
We've had that discussion before, haven't we? Okay, right. Well, Title Tuesday was happening, and I was actually not playing in Title Tuesday this week because I was actually doing a simultaneous at my club in order to raise money for charity. We raised £110 actually for charity in the end, which is great.
Wow.
And also got a good get together for my local club, and a few players from some of the other local clubs as well came in too, which was a lot of fun, and I was absolutely shattered by it as well. But I missed Title Tuesday, guys. How did you both get on?
I had my best week, despite being knackered.
And what was your point score?
6.5.
And what's your blitzchess.com rating up to now?
25-43.
Very, very good.
Dizzying heights.
Alex, any luck for you?
I was too busy fanboying Johan, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think I got 3.5, the same as I got the week before, but I just played so much worse this week. It was just bad.
I actually played one of the worst that I wasn't playing very well at all, but like I just got lucky quite a few times, I think.
Yeah, and we can discuss maybe how the recent cheating thing has kind of impacted Title Tuesday or not. But one thing I guess that we've seen, we flicked past it earlier, but Jose Camacho is playing in the Bristol or South West Blitz qualifier, and so it looks like he played in this week's Title Tuesday. He sent me a message to tell me he did. He's Pedrada 88, and he got a couple of good wins. I think he had quite a number of losses as well, but he beat Pep Cuenca as well. So I think it's his friend. Have you heard of Pep Cuenca? No. If you ever see Spanish commentary, Pep's there, and he's very animated all the time. That's what he does, and he's great at it. But he also got a victory against another well-known streamer Gotham Chess, Levy Rosman. And I thought maybe, Alex, you could talk us through this Caro.
We're getting all of Alex's repertoire tonight, aren't we?
To be fair, I actually recommend some of my juniors to play the Caro rather than the French. I think the French is just too hard for them. I think the Caro's actually got a bit
Well,
easier
where
to
do you
play.
think Alex got his recommendation from?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, true. Yeah,
I don't know why on earth I was recommending that, but no, I think I didn't ever used to recommend openings, did I? I just used to show everything and see what you fancy, isn't it?
Yeah, you didn't tell me not to play it.
Yeah. Well,
Hang on.
after you started playing it, I started playing it myself.
Hang on. How did he get onto the London then? You must have told him not to play the
No,
London, surely.
No. Like this was after me.
Oh, right. Okay, that's all right.
I played E4 when Johan was coaching me.
Right.
E4. But, yeah, fantasy. Oh, okay, fantasy career. So I no longer know anything about this.
So is this now a French?
Play after F3 and E6 is not one of the ones I play because my bishop's blocked in.
Yeah.
But I assume Jose knew what he was doing.
Well, it feels like a French now, but in a weird way. With the pawn
it's
on
a French.
C6.
And you're saying which of these moves is more stupid, F3 or C6, right?
Yeah. So after takes on E4, he goes knight H3. I just thought this game was just kind of like a bit mental from start to finish, really. But really kind of technical endgame. And okay, nabs a pawn, but then loses G7. And there's a lot to play through here, so I am going to be clicking through relatively quickly. But it's just a typical blitz game where it feels just crazy. You know, there's the discovered attack, the rook on G4, neither side's castled. Now there's this fork happening, and there might even be some tactics missed somewhere. An exchange is gone, but he gets it back. Another pawn gone. Queens get exchanged. We get to this position with black to play, and you're thinking,
he's pawn up.
It's a pawn up, but it doesn't feel like a solid pawn to me just yet. But you take the pawn up.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, the A pawn's going to be fast, isn't it?
White's pieces are pretty active, is what I'd argue.
I'd just
but
go A5 here.
Yeah, I think A5 is probably quite good as well. But I mean, they've only got 30 seconds left at this point as well, haven't they? So this is not easy to play. And this little tactic here gets White
this
back
is
in the
my
game.
territory now. I love rook and pawn.
Well, I'm glad actually, because I think this is the most exciting part of this game.
Okay.
Which is so, you know, Alex, do you like rook and pawn endings?
Yeah, when they're not theoretical.
Well, this is going to get theoretical, but at this point, I think it's just quite interesting. So obviously, Black's trying to win because of the extra pawn, and I think
if we go back a couple of moves there, I think King F6 was not a good move there. I think B5.
He wants to stop Rook G6, doesn't he? By the looks of things.
Yeah, but you just need to get that A pawn going. Activity is the most important thing in an endgame, so I just go B5 here, I think.
Yeah, B5 does make a lot of sense. But I think the problem for him with B5 is that maybe Rook G6, and he's just going to use the king to stop this A pawn.
I can't see that happening, I think.
Oh, so is your point maybe like A4?
A4.
Well, hang on, we can just do Rook takes pawn, because we can go Rook H7 checking behind. So you got to go Rook A6, and then I can bring my king.
Yeah, that check is...
That's annoying, that is, isn't it?
Is the king and pawn endgame one? So can you go king D6?
What, here? Oh, you want to go Rook C7 to block me?
I don't know.
Well,
this is the kind of thing you actually need to calculate a bit, isn't it? So, but I think I'm a little bit gung ho with my I just sack pawns and rook pawn endgames all the time. So,
I mean, I'm tempted to go F4 here, but I don't know if I can get away with A3, King C2, B4. Like something like this would be quite scary because I haven't got time for F5 because of A2. But the problem with King C2 is B4, right?
Yeah.
This is what you're trying to do before.
Yeah.
And exploit this pin. But even this,
no, you just take on C3,
and then back here, and then what? Rook E3.
You can go Rook E3, yeah.
Yeah, that's
and
no
then
good.
B3.
Okay, so F4 is just too much. But okay, suppose I go Rook here. Force your Rook to the A file first before bringing the king over. Okay, I mean, look at how many seconds he's got left. I mean, 29 seconds. He used quite a lot of them on King F6, and Levy's only got 4.
Levy's only got 4 seconds left, so I definitely would have played B5.
It gets exciting though, because here I think he realizes that there's a pawn, so he gives the B pawn to keep the A pawn.
Whoa.
Yeah, so this is just like a million times worse than what I was suggesting now, isn't it? Because you've lost.
Why did he go
you've lost
here
your
though?
pawn.
Okay, 5.
Why is not here?
Yeah, and then White's
Just-
playing for the win.
Yeah, and so this is just blitz chess losing a lot of stuff, but I think maybe he was trying to play for a win in a different way, perhaps. But look at where we get to, right? This is the interesting part for me. So, I mean, this is a draw, but it eventually moves. Oh, sorry, here, sorry, finds King H3. And this zugzwangs Levy? Because the rook's got to move away from one of the pawns, can't move the king.
Okay.
That's nice.
Rook moves away, takes.
I'm
rook
not sure
here.
that this is. I'm not sure that this is.
Well, watch. This should be drawn, I think, because the pawn's not far enough advanced. But he does a really good job here of cutting the king off.
So if you've got a rook's pawn, the king has to be cut off by 4 files. It's like crazy. 4 files. That's
Yeah.
the rule. So,
But you're going to see a sting in the tail here, which I think you're going to really like. That's why I wanted to look at this game. Because what Levy does is he gives this check from behind, which is the right thing to do. And he keeps doing this. But then he wastes some time. And here he just makes us what I think is a small mistake. It's not a mistake yet that loses. But when he goes here, I think this move loses. Because I haven't analyzed this with a computer, so this is why I'm bringing it up now. Maybe there's another thing. But rook a8, king in, check.
Yeah.
Rook here. Now, I think maybe king here also is a bad move. I think maybe you can play king to this square is better. Because after king c8, you go check again and bring the rook across with tempo.
Okay.
The rook moves to the side, as you'd expect. Rook down. King up, check, and then out.
Yeah, okay, but you don't put the rook behind the pawn. You put it to the side so that you can check on the back rank.
Where? Which point?
Keep going. Oh, sorry. Before it goes to a4. Sorry. There, just put it like to h4 or something.
h4 is here. Do you mean here?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. a5. Yeah.
Here, so you can't move the rook down because you give the check.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So that would draw. But he goes here by mistake. Then, so okay. I think this might also draw if the rook's on h8.
Yeah,
because after here check.
Okay.
And the problem is that the black king can do this maneuver.
Yeah, the checking distance is
not great. Whereas if the rook was down here, you could give another check.
But you can still go rook b1 there. What did he do?
What? Where? Here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's what he did, I think. And then, hang on, let me just. He went rook here and he went rook here.
Oh yeah.
And that's game over.
Yeah.
Whereas I think if the only difference, if this rook had been on one of these two squares, he could just keep giving checks from behind, and that would be a draw. But also, I like your idea of rook to the side and rook check down here. So yeah, it all came down to, okay, you could have had a different way of drawing it, but it was just like, okay, they're playing with 2 and 3 seconds left on the clocks. But here he wasted this move to go up, and then here he wasted to go up again. And I'm just surprised he didn't choose to go here.
You always have to maximize the checking distance. Just out of routine, yeah. But just
automatic, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't go closer here. You go further away if you have the choice. So maybe it was just because he was moving so quickly that he did that. But I thought that was a really interesting game. Okay, well done, Jose, for playing. Good luck in the Blitz qualifiers as well, and as well to Dan Kozazek and all the Welsh entrants. What's next, guys? Chess drama. We've got too much to choose from, and it's 11 o'clock. So, we did start a few minutes late though. But is there anything, guys, that you've got a choice of? There's just so much drama going on at the moment, which is crazy. The guy Hans Niemann seems to keep his face currently here. Let me just list some of the things that are going on right now, because you've got too much. So Niemann was interviewed by Piers Morgan. He had his lawyer with him. Hans did.
He had his lawyer with him.
Yeah, I've watched it.
You know
it's
what?
absolute. car crash interview because
He took
Piers
his
Morgan,
lawyer to an interview. Was his lawyer
Yep.
being interviewed as well, or was he checking
Well,
things
he
with
did
his lawyer?
state some things, but I mean, you got to remember that in America, Hans can't drink yet. He's still a minor, technically. So maybe there's something to do with that, but also some legal things because it looks like Hans has done some sort of deal with chess.com and Magnus, perhaps, where there's some sort of payoff or something.
Yeah.
They're not going to release the details, though, and I guess nobody's going to say that they are guilty or the on the wrong side. But his interview with Piers Morgan, I thought, was a bit of a car crash interview because Piers Morgan just couldn't get past the point that beads were used at some point, or were they not used? And that's all he could focus on. He couldn't get past it.
That's all the public care about, so that makes sense.
Yeah, it does, but there's also a bigger story to this, though, isn't there, as well?
Yeah.
But there is. But if you want to tell the bigger story, you don't get interviewed by Piers Morgan. Like,
well,
you know what he's going to be like, don't you? So when you go on there, you know that whoever you are, he's going to rip into you, and he's going to put a point
to get your butt ready.
The thing is, though, you would have thought that they would have prepared a bit better, though, because he obviously did rip into them and obviously try and he just centered around that one point. But they didn't throw the phone hacking scandal back at him at all, and they should have done. They had so much ammunition.
Maybe that was in his contract or something, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, Hans. I mean, he is playing in this World Youth Championship at the moment, but he's released a video recently, basically kind of trashing the Botez sisters a little bit, because he's basically said. I mean, I haven't actually listened to. I've just read the tweets. That he's basically there making a load of money out of promoting poker when they're meant to be chess streamers or promoting chess, and poker is making people, well, gambling, and therefore actually it's really bad for them to recommend gambling. And Jan, you were expressing a bit of a different viewpoint around poker, and
I actually like, because when you said like Hans and it was Hams or something, I was like, oh, who's this Hams character? Like, and then I googled because I had to find out. Like, so I googled it. I was like, oh, it's Hans, right? I should have really realised that.
Yeah.
But actually, I basically, like, I remember I did maths in school, and then I dropped maths because I didn't want to do statistics. Like, I just thought it's pointless. I don't really understand why anybody would want to do it. But then I started playing poker at university, and then I was reading, like, you know, complex stats books, and I was like, I wish somebody just taught me this in school.
Yeah.
So, but I think poker is just such a phenomenal game to learn mathematical skills that are like super important. Like, if I was a maths teacher and I was allowed to, I would definitely be teaching poker in school.
Well, I mean, I was a maths teacher. I didn't teach poker. There's also some child safeguarding issues with teaching poker, but teaching the maths of it.
It's just maths. Yeah.
Yeah, it is just maths. And do you know what?
If you're good at maths, it's not gambling. You just win. Like,
well,
unless someone else is just as good as you. Right?
Yeah, I mean, they were talking about the differences between cash games where people do lose a lot of money compared to entering into a tournament with like a buy-in and then that's it. Being different, where that's kind of, it is gambling, but it's kind of very similar to a chess tournament. You pay an entry fee and then the winner takes so much. But I don't know, Alex, you got any viewpoints on this at all? Or I mean, yeah, I guess you're on the Boto sisters side, or?
Oh no, Team Hands. The bow testers are just the worst. I've got no time for them at all. But that's just me taking sides based on their people, not on what they're actually saying. I mean, I don't mind poker. I'm not going to claim to be an expert, but I think ultimately, why does it matter if someone goes on about it, right?
Yeah, true.
You know, anyone can. You know, I don't think anyone in the world is going to say, "Oh wow, I saw the Botes sisters talk about poker, so I'm going to go and lose thousands of dollars playing poker." Right?
Well, I mean, I guess this is what these influencers do, though, and streamers and things. They do have people following them. I mean, that's what happened to Capitol riots in America, isn't it? You know, people followed this random website. Is it? What's it called? QAnon or something like that, because of what people read, and they believe in all the conspiracy theories. So people kind of do trust what they read or what they hear.
Sure, but I feel like real chess players wouldn't be watching the Botez sisters. So when Hans says they're
Real chess players,
from chess players to poker, real chess players, they're watching Gotham Chess, Hikaru. They're logging in for Welsh chess.
Well, it's a good thing he's frozen, isn't it?
Was he about to say they watch Gotham Chess, Hikaru, and Welsh Chess Chat?
Yes, my first line got cut off there.
Yeah, probably a good thing before you trash probably most of the most popular people online at the moment. I don't
know. Cease and desist too, won't we?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, though, you talk about cease and desist there, and we've also got another chess drama in America brewing. That well, it's not brewing; it's on. So this guy called Alejandro Ramirez, he's been, I think he's been officially tied down to being some sort of sexual pervert, and you know he's basically been working in US chess for many years amidst complaints about the guy, and it's just ridiculous, like the evidence. And you know, it's been apparently well known amongst many people over there that you know not to work with him, and then he got hired to be the women's Olympiad coach, I think, recently. I mean, you know, you couldn't make this stuff up. And it's just, you know, apparently that wasn't to do with US chess though, or something like that. But the guy in charge of US chess is, I've just literally signed the position actually before this. I already knew about it. He's just gone off on one, and then he sent Jennifer Shahade these cease and desist letters because she keeps complaining about, well, sexism in chess and you know, sexual abuse. Actually, you know, there's difference between sexism and people saying something a little bit wrong, and then somebody actually doing the harassment as well. And this guy called Randy Bauer, I think it is in charge, and he's basically, his Facebook, the replies on this thread were crazy. So I'd advise people to go and look at that and read it up on it. If you're looking for just chess drama closer to home, then we've just had a recent announcement of that Simon Williams, one of our the UK's most popular chess streamers and chess sellers, has got to pay 730k back to basically effectively pensions that he somehow laundered money through. But I guess we might hear more on that story in the future, because the comment that he made a few years ago was that it's almost like he didn't know what was going on. So I expect more legal challenges to go into that, whether he's going to repeal it somehow, whether he's going to sue some other people or something like that.
Sounds complicated.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, this is the thing, though, isn't it? And also, like, cancel culture as well. Apparently, when it broke, he was streaming on another event online, and the people.
He was commentating, yeah.
And they were deleting the comments as they came through about it, that he was named in it. And I read some of the comments on chess.com threads and Reddit, and apparently the report people were quoting from it actually doesn't paint him in a good light at all. But whether that's just through negligence, that he just didn't know what was going on and just looked the other way, or was it a case that he was actively associated with it? And I haven't looked into it that much, but it's one of our most popular streamers and sellers. He's got a whole brand behind him, and commentators, and it's I guess could get cancelled or something like that. But there could even be maybe some criminal lawsuits in the future, because this was only a civil one, apparently. So really interesting gossip, shall we say? I don't really know whether we should go into the gossip territory, guys. Is this a good thing or not?
Good gossip.
I think it's good to raise some awareness, isn't it? And then people can decide, like, do I want to find out more about the Simon Williams, the Jennifer Shahade, the Hans Niemann thing, and they can go away and watch the relevant clips, read what they want to.
Do you know what they're going to do, though, Alex? They're just going to go watch the Botez sisters.
Well, if you do go watch the Botez sisters, don't come back next Thursday.
One way to alienate all your market there. Cheers, guys. No, I mean, okay. It's I think the one thing that I would advise people to do is I have actually shared it on my Twitter. I'll share it on the Welsh Chess Chat Twitter as well. But I have actually signed the signature thing to try and get that guy sacked from the American Chess Federation, because just the way that he's approaching it. Which basically somebody says something that he doesn't like to hear, and he's just lawsuiting up. But maybe that's just the American way. I don't know. Okay, future events, guys. This is just the last thing on the chat before we go. When's your next event? Magaluf for you, Alex? Yourself, Johan?
Got some league games coming up, I think.
Oh, no, hang on. No, it wasn't that. Alex, wasn't it the European Club Cup?
Yeah, that's where you're going.
Yeah, we didn't want to hear about Johan. God.
No, yeah, shut up, Johan.
Yeah, so it hasn't started, so it won't take long. But
okay.
Just,
oh, are you sharing something?
Yeah, hopefully.
Ooh, it's a long chat tonight, guys.
We can see.
We've barely discussed the gossip as well, which is crazy.
It's probably for the best.
Yeah, probably.
We get sued.
We have the European Club Cup taking place in Durrës, Albania, which starts on the weekend.
Nice.
Yeah, and this is on the coast as well, so that will be a pretty nice venue.
So how do you qualify to get into this?
Yeah, so it's a super strong event, and you can qualify basically either by winning your national league, or I think these days it's a bit more flexible where you just need to finish in the top half of your league to get in. But for Wales, we do have the Welsh Premier League champions, the White Knights, are going. And I know captain there, Jason Garcia, I know worked really hard to get a team together. I think they sort of had 4 players for quite a long time, which are desperate to get 6 together to go in and represent as defending champions. And they've got together a pretty experienced team. I think anyone who has followed Welsh chess for a while know that this is very similar to the team that went to the Europeans last 2 years ago, with Alan, Jason, Lee, and John Weatherlake. So yeah, this is the team they're sending, and I think it's like the perfect event for this kind of team to go in. 84 teams, a few weaker teams where you think, if they play them, they should be able to beat them, but all the way through, its teams just filled with 2300s in the middle, and if you're the White Knights team, I don't think any of these teams should be beating them 6-0. So I think there should be, some really good individual scalps from these guys, and I think they'll be competitive. And then I think, interestingly, within the same tournament, you've got the top seeds Super Chess. So it's unlikely that the White Knights will get to play them, but they'll be, in the same hall as a team that's got Anand Rapport on top couple of boards, and Lupulescu is their reserve player at 25.81. And for context, in the Four Nations Chess League, the very best team, Mansk's Liberty, Lupulescu plays either on board 1 or board 2 for them. And in the European Club Cup, they bring him along just, in case Anand doesn't want to play a game, they roll him out on bottom boards. So, it's pretty crazy.
It's also worth noting there that Richard Rapport's only just changed over to Romania, hasn't he, as well?
I think it's been a little while.
Yeah, not literally this week, but
fairly recent.
I think it's been a few years, hasn't it?
Yeah, I know he got annoyed with the Hungarian Federation, and I'm surprised that the Romanian one's better run, to be honest. I was surprised when I read all that, but it's they've obviously
there's a lot of sponsorship with Romania now, isn't there?
Well, I think given the team they've got, we can assume there is. Although a good chunk.
There's some betting company or something that's Romanian, isn't there? Something like that.
Oh, right.
Shit. Because there's Super Bets or Super Chess, maybe.
You've also got Fedosiv that's now Slovenia there as well, formerly of Russia, I should imagine.
Yes, one of the many to change nationalities. That makes sense. And again, not a bad player to have playing on your bottom board potentially for the big matches. And the other team that I think is interesting to look at is the 4th seeds Offerspill, because they have former world champion Magnus Carlsen on top board, as well as a couple other, let's say, personalities, even though I don't think they're such big names, but definitely, a team that can be pretty relevant in the tournament, and it will be interesting to see how.
Is Eric Hansen that streamer?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's with Chess Browse, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just a bit of a better name than Welsh Chess Chat. That's the only difference, really.
Same viewership. is he's the one that had that chess boxing match, that you told me about with
no, it was Eamon Hambleton.
Oh yeah, okay.
But they stream together quite a lot.
Right.
That's like they come.
What's happened to Magnus's rating there? I didn't think he was that low.
Yeah, he's gone down a lot.
Well, it was the World Cup, wasn't it? I mean, if he
No, he
even
came to the World Cup.
did he?
No, he's had a terrible year or something. Like if you think about how much he lost in Norway,
Oh yeah, 18 in
and
Norway.
there was a few other tournaments I think that just really bad.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. It's not been.
But he's still miles above everyone else. So
yeah, I mean, because everybody else has dropped quite a lot, because it's quite common now to see these top 10 players to be in the like 2750, 2760 range. Whereas beforehand, I remember ages ago, and this is to do with rating deflation, they were all over 2800 to like the top 5, whereas now there's only one of them. Okay, right. Well, thanks, guys, for joining me. Thank you, Alex and Johan. It's obviously been one of our longest chess chats, and Astral definitely likes that, which is, I'm glad that you're happy about it. Our other halves probably aren't. But it's great to do this again, and good luck to really playing chess in the Blitz this weekend, or any other tournaments around the place. If you are watching, then please make sure you subscribe and we'll click like or whatever it is to follow us either on Twitch, or if you're watching this on YouTube, then make sure to click follow just so you get the rest of the notifications. I'm doing some short videos as well, just new videos for beginners on there too, and maybe Johan and Alex will add some more as well. And they seem to be getting a lot of views for some reason over the past 5 days. I don't quite know why, but they're more aimed at kind of like to be used in high schools or primary schools to just help teachers develop children in that respect. But yeah, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Ta-ra. Bye.